Now, your Big 2 forecast first.
Happy Sunday, everyone. For some of you, a very quiet night, but for others, seeing some strong to severe storms with some gusty winds and, of course, some moderate to large-sized hail. We'll continue to watch this throughout the night, but be prepared for that severe weather risk. And, of course, as we head into tomorrow, we have more rain chances on the way. Taking a look at your day planner, 6 a.m., we get to 56 degrees. By 10, we get to 60, and your high temperature is going to be near 65. After that, the warming trend begins. All the details coming up as the Big 2 News at 10 starts right now.
Next, the city of Big Spring has a new leader. Hear from newly elected Mayor Shannon Thomason. Also, Midland County officials need your help solving a cold case. We look into what happened to Pamela McDonald.
I missed him so much. He was my soulmate.
We sat down for an exclusive interview with the family of an Odessa man who died in a motorcycle crash. Stay tuned for their story.
Live from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, we're Basin Trusted, Basin Proud. This is Big 2 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for this weekend edition of Big 2 News at 10. I'm JuYeon's Kim. Well, the results are in. Big Spring has its newest mayor, Shannon Thomason. Thomason swept 58% of the vote in the mayoral election, while his opponent, Debbie Wackman, received 42%. Big 2's Jocelyn Person sat down with Thomason to get his reaction on the big victory. Jocelyn?
Yes, I had the chance to sit down with Shannon Thomason, and he expressed he's ready to hit the ground running to fix the water and infrastructure in Big Spring. As you may know, water and infrastructure have been the most problematic issues in Big Spring for years. Now that the city elected Shannon Thomason as the newest mayor, he's ready to take action and make Big Spring a better place.
Well, first step will be the first item I had on my platform, and that is getting city government more responsive, open, and transparent to the citizens. And that's something I can do immediately. Now, of course, water lines and infrastructure improvements will take time, but that's something we'll be looking at almost immediately and seeing what kind of improvements and fixes we can get in place. I will remain open and responsive to the citizens. I did not run to be a leader. I ran to represent the citizens.
As you've just seen, Thomason express his promises he would immediately take during his time as mayor. Live in the studio, Jocelyn Person, Big 2 News.
Thank you for that report, Jocelyn. Well, officials are asking for your help finding the person responsible for illegal dumping. This truck you see right there was caught on camera dumping furniture illegally Saturday morning around 10 a.m. If you know who this person may be or who this truck belongs to, call the Ector County Environmental Police. Well, Midland police are asking for your help solving a cold case. The Midland County Sheriff's Office, the Texas Rangers, and Midland Crime Stoppers are all looking for the person that may have murdered Pamela McDonald. If you have any information, you could receive a cash reward. McDonald was last seen on April 2nd of 2009. She was seen leaving her house in a 2001 Lincoln Town Car. The vehicle was found shortly after she went missing, and her remains were found in January of 2012. If you have any information on this cold case, call the Midland Crime Stoppers. Well, a deadly crash on University and Bonham Wednesday night. 48-year-old Felix John Jaramillo was pronounced dead at the Medical Center Hospital. Now, I had a chance to sit down with his fiancée Priscilla Pacheco and her daughter Bridget Husky. Here's their tragic story.
I missed him so much. He was my soulmate.
Fiancée Priscilla Pacheco's daughter Bridget say the two were inseparable.
My mom has never been this happy, and I just thanked him and I was telling him I love him. I was saying thank you for everything he done for us.
Felix John Jaramillo lost his life to an unforgiving motorcycle crash Wednesday evening.
She said, "You're on speaker." And I said, "What happened, babe?" He said, "I don't feel my legs, babe." I said, "I'm on my way. I love you." He said he loved me too.
Whether by fate or by God's destiny, the two who came to Jaramillo's rescue were Jack and Leandra Burcham, the parents of the 3 Midland triplets that died in May.
Her and her husband were his guardian angels. And I deeply appreciate everything that they did for him. They did not let him go alone. I couldn't be there. And they were there for him and let me at least talk to him one last time.
Pacheco says her and her fiancé shared their passion for family and for motorcycles. She never predicted what brought them so much joy could also bring so much pain.
We got the bike back. How could this come back and work and be fine? And he not make it.
And the hardest part is having to let go.
I want to see him walk in the door. I look at the door, garage door there.
Truly a tragedy. Now, I've watched this story over and over again, but every time it takes me right back to the moment I sat across from Pacheco in her living room. Jaramillo's viewing and funeral will be held in Colorado. A GoFundMe page has been created for the family. For the link, make sure to check out yourbasin.com. A Texas police chief was killed after he was knocked overboard from a fishing boat. Kemah Police Chief Chris Reed fell off the small boat he and his wife were on Friday afternoon. This after the board was hit by a larger passing vessel. Last night, the community stood in his honor, hoping for the best.
It was about neighbors. Do you know how so-and-so doing? So he was always asking about your family and about other people that he knew.
He's mentoring a senior graduate out at Clearview Alternative High School, and he signed on that contract, so if there's a way for him to get back and help this student, he will.
We're hoping for a miracle. That's it.
Now, the police chief Reed's body was found this morning by the Coast Guard. A Texas man missing for nearly 7 days in an Arkansas forest is alive and okay. Search teams in one national forest found Joshua McClatchy in a remote area about 100 miles from Little Rock Friday night. McClatchy, who is from Fort Worth, was hiking while he ended up in a wilderness area. Rescue teams took turns carrying him out of the area. He is now at a hospital recovering from dehydration. One person has died after a crane collapsed in Dallas this morning. 6 others were injured when heavy winds in downtown Dallas forced the crane to topple into a 5-story apartment complex. Fire rescue is still searching for missing people, but with severe storms moving through the area, officials say a rescue will be difficult.
There is a wall that has suffered significant damage, and at this point, no one is confident that sending anyone inside of that structure is gonna help it maintain its stability. So that's one of the places that we're looking at, and that's actually where the primary point of concern is.
Power outages have also been reported, with more than 200,000 customers experiencing problems. Well, President Trump tweeted Friday he is dropping tariffs on Mexican goods after the country agreed to step up efforts to stop migrants from entering the U.S. That may help ease a flood of people coming into the U.S. from Central America. Diane Gallagher has the story.
The numbers haven't looked like this in more than a decade. Nearly 133,000 people apprehended by Customs and Border Protection for crossing into the U.S. illegally in just the month of May. Families making up the majority, more than 11,000 of them unaccompanied children. The acting CBP commissioner calling it, quote, a full-blown emergency. Government processing centers and shelters overcrowded. some to dangerous levels with unsanitary and unsafe conditions, according to the Department of Homeland Security's watchdog agency.
It was so crowded. My son had to sleep standing up.
Belkis Castro from Honduras crossed over into Texas with her 2 sons in hopes of getting to family in Houston. Instead, she, along with hundreds of other migrant families, were flown to California to make room.
We didn't realize that folks would be flown into San Diego. San Diego's a great place to live, but so it did take us by surprise. But it's apparently 3 plane loads a week. It's around 135, 150 per plane load. We've given up on a logic model to this whole matter. There is no logic model.
The reasons for the surge in migration are layered. Right now, people who live in Guatemala and Honduras are facing intense economic and environmental conditions with ever-present violence and a drought that is limiting food availability. But that's been happening for a long time. Critics of the White House say this most recent extreme spike in movement is a direct result of the president's policies.
They're saying the big change is the message that this is your last chance. President Trump, if you're ever going to escape these dire circumstances, you have to come now.
And as President Trump focuses on beefing up security, a wall, more Border Patrol agents, and adding U.S. troops.
Today we have approximately 2,000 service members supporting the mission along the southwest border.
Experts say smugglers are becoming more sophisticated. Central American families more aware of U.S. laws and the likelihood they won't be deported in large numbers, at least right away, focusing far more on success stories from neighbors than threats from the White House.
Mexico has agreed to deploy its National Guard to the country's southern border to stop Central American migrants there. Mexico will also accept migrants turned away at the U.S. border as they await consideration of their asylum claims. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter is back teaching Sunday school. Just weeks after his hip surgery, Carter returned to a Baptist church in his hometown of Plains, Georgia. Carter has taught Sunday school since leaving the White House in 1981. He now teaches quite a bit, and anyone can go. Carter is now the oldest living president at 94 years old. Coming up on Big 2 News at 10, Oklahoma City is still underwater. We tell you about the rainfall and show you how residents are getting around. Coming up. And here's a look at the skies above Big Spring. We're looking out from the top of the historic Hotel Settles in Big Spring. Thanks to the West Texas State Bank Sky Tracker. We'll be right back.
The 2019 Nissan Armada. Intelligence with an attitude. Get a low $349 per month lease on the 2019 Armada.
The buying and selling of real estate can be a very complicated process. And when you think you've found the right place for your family, simplify your search and let Kelly Stiegel find you and your family a home, allowing you to focus on the important part, loving your new home. Don't let the search for a home get your mind off track. Kelly Stiegel is there for you. Call or visit online and find your new home today.
Paying too much for glasses is just wrong. Check out the Right Sale at iMart Express and get a complete pair of frames and lenses for $20. That's right, one pair for $20. But hurry, it's like a porcupine with a balloon. It's not gonna last. So bring your prescription, choose your glasses, and wear them today. Get a complete pair for $20. Need progressives? 2 pairs start at just $76.92. You can't go wrong at the Right Sale at iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
It's a dog-themed day, June 15th at the 5th Annual Hot Dog Run, presented by Sandstone Ridge Apartments, benefiting Midland Humane Coalition. Register online at midlandhumane.org. The 5K and 1 mile will be at Midland College Allison Fine Arts Building.
This segment of Big 2 News brought to you by Ashley Home Store. And now, your Big 2 local weather authority forecast. We warn you first.
Happy Sunday, everyone. It was a very nice day across the region. Of course, many of you starting to notice that cold air seeping in. Cold front made it about halfway through West Texas and kind of stalled out in our northern basin regions. Of course, still sitting at 93 in Midland, Odessa for the high temperature, but that's a lot cooler than what we were at yesterday at that time. Of course, still saw some triple digits in the mix and some upper 90s, and that'll remain the case for some of tomorrow as well. Here's a look at the hourly forecast. Again, dropping back into the upper 50s and the low 60s. Going to be a stormy night tonight for some of you. Northern Basin folks will, of course, stay a little bit drier. Northern Basin also going to get a little bit cooler tomorrow. 67 in Seminole and Andrews, 66 in Lovington, 64 degrees in Carlsbad. A little bit further south in the Central Basin, we're at 66 degrees in Grand Falls and Penwell, 69 in Midland. We're looking at Garden City at 67, and a little bit further south in the Trans-Pecos regions, also sitting in those 60s. A little bit cooler in Fort Stockton at 63 degrees, Pecos 65, of course 65 in Bakersfield, and Dryden is at 69. Finally, in the mountain regions, a few of you getting back into the 70s. We're looking at the mid 70s down south, but the upper 50s for the folks in Fort Davis and in Pine Springs. Many of you may want to bring a jacket tomorrow, and might be in the form of a rain jacket because there is more storms on the way. As mentioned, seeing some strong to severe storms earlier this evening, and there is that possibility we will see more as we move into the next few hours. So hopefully your cars are covered. If not, take the time to do so and bring your pets indoors. Definitely not safe for them out there. Large hail and damaging wind gusts are the biggest threats at this time, so we'll continue to watch that closely. Of course, wider view shows the rest of the state of Texas and really the rest of the central United States is staying quiet this evening, which is nice news if you have early travel plans tomorrow. The other good news is with the rain, we may see some updates in the drought monitor. Of course, few areas of drought, but it's just the abnormally dry category, and it's just some very small areas, a lot better than what we were at last year at this time. Hour by hour forecast shows rain will clear out tonight and then starts to reform by midday tomorrow. We continue to see on and off showers and thunderstorms through your Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon and evening we get a break, but then on Wednesday we see more rain on the way. It is going to be a stormy week ahead. Keep those umbrellas handy just in case. Maybe don't wear the suede shoes this week, just because we are going to be seeing the risk for storms pretty much every single day. As we move into the weekend, it gets a little bit quieter, and as it does, it's going to get a little bit hotter as well. And as mentioned, we do have just a marginal risk for strong to severe storms in our southern regions tonight. As we move into tomorrow, though, the good news is we're just in the general thunderstorm category. Finally, we take a look at your evening forecast. We continue to watch for a 20% chance of those showers and thunderstorms. 56 degrees. Winds will be gusty from the northeast at 20 to 40 miles per hour. And your 7-day forecast shows it is going to be a stormy day tomorrow, but not severe. We see storms linger into Tuesday, continue on Wednesday and Thursday. But notice as the storms start to clear out, temperatures start to heat up, getting back into the upper 90s and possibly even the triple digits yet again. And then on Sunday, watching for more rain chances on the way. Of course, make sure to stay weather aware and wear the sunscreen and stay hydrated for the second half of this week. Now we'll send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Heidi, for that. We'll be sure to keep an eye on the forecast. Meanwhile, parts of Oklahoma City are still underwater. Residents are driving through flooded roadways, and some cars are even left stranded. But Oklahoma City should get a break soon. Rain chances are letting up. Firefighters are still working to contain a fast-moving wildfire in the Tonto National Forest in Arizona. The so-called mountain fire, which was reported Friday afternoon, has burned more than 7,000 acres in the national forest northeast of Phoenix. Officials say the fire was human-caused, but haven't provided more details. Strong winds are making it difficult to fight the fire. Around the world, Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador is hailing Friday's agreement with the U.S. on immigration enforcement. The agreement led President Trump to suspend indefinitely tariffs he had threatened to impose on Mexico. Speaking at a rally in Tijuana Saturday, the Mexican president stressed his desire for dialogue and cooperation with the U.S. López Obrador spent part of his speech addressing history between the two countries. He also said humanitarian aid for asylum seekers would begin next week. Mass protests took place in the streets of Hong Kong Sunday against a hugely controversial extradition bill. Lawmakers who opposed the bill say it is designed to increase Beijing's power to detain dissidents and other critics. They also say it would undermine Hong Kong's semi-autonomous legal system. Coming up, presidential candidates for the 2020 have a lot of issues to decide on. One of the biggest ones is abortion. We break down who stands where coming up.
Ready? It's happening right now at Rooms to Go. Pick from 100 beautiful rooms, each under $1,000. Picture it, your home fully furnished in your style, with living rooms under $1,000, dining rooms under $1,000, bedrooms under $1,000, 100 stylish options under $1,000. And it gets even better. Finance for $20 or less per month, interest-free. Furnish your home to perfection. Now at Rooms to Go.
Get on the road. This summer, DK and Alon want to give you a chance to win a sweet ride. Text SUMMER to 444222 and enter for your chance to win. One of these sweet rides could be all yours. Get on the road this summer with DK and Alon.
It's a hail sale at Toyota of Midland. Small hail at Toyota of Midland means big savings for you. You'll find huge discounts on every new Toyota. Every car we've got has been reduced in price. Every car. New shipments are arriving daily, and we have lots of damage-free cars, so you can save more than ever before on the new Toyota you've been wanting. Take advantage of these big savings today before they're gone.
Toyota Midland. We're a proud member of the Alwick family of dealerships where quality deals bring you in and our service brings you back.
It's time once again for the Permian Basin Gun Show this weekend at the Ector County Coliseum in Odessa. Come buy, sell, swap, trade, or just look around. Bring the whole family because there's something for everyone. Guns, jewelry, coins, knives. It's one of the largest gun shows in the area, and it's all this weekend at the Ector County Coliseum in Odessa. You've got to be there and bring the whole family.
Just stop. No, I don't have time for this. They're my kids too. I paid for that truck.
I'm Anthony Robles, representing men in divorce, custody, and family law matters. Remember, you're divorcing your spouse, not your kids, not your house, and not your money.
Coming up on Big Two. We are Basin Trusted, Basin Proud. You're watching Big Two News at 10.
A new poll shows 3 out of 10 Americans would only vote for a candidate who shares their views on abortion rights. That explains why abortion is becoming such a hot-button topic among the 2020 presidential candidates. Natasha Chen shows us where they all stand.
With several states banning abortions at much earlier stages of pregnancy than established by Roe v. Wade, 2020 Democratic candidates are coming forward in defense of abortion rights.
People who are frightened are the ones who don't get access, and that's just not right.
Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, and Kirsten Gillibrand have called for Roe v. Wade to be codified into federal law.
I think Kamala Harris had a good idea the other day.
Harris is proposing the Department of Justice block what she calls dangerous abortion restrictions in states pushing unconstitutional anti-choice legislation before they go into effect. Harris is also among a host of Democratic candidates who tweeted in support of repealing the Hyde Amendment, which bans federal dollars from being used for abortions except in cases of rape, incest, or where the mother's life is in danger. 15 states offer their own funding for a wider range of abortion services to Medicaid recipients. The Kaiser Family Foundation reports more than half of the women of childbearing age on Medicaid do not qualify for most abortion services.
This assault on women's reproductive rights is an assault on women, but it's a particularly assault on African American women.
Joe Biden was the only candidate in the Democratic field who supported the Hyde Amendment until he changed his mind this week.
If I believe health care is a right as I do, I can no longer support an amendment that makes that right dependent on someone's zip code.
On the Republican side of the race, President Donald Trump was for abortion rights in the 90s, but is now against them. His administration imposed new restrictions Wednesday on the use of fetal tissue in scientific research. His only primary challenger, former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld, penned an op-ed last week defending a woman's right to choose.
The focus on abortion rights come after several states passed abortion bans in recent months. The purpose of those laws is to bring a challenge to Roe v. Wade before the Supreme Court. And joining us now is Aaron Reynolds to talk some sports, Texas Tech baseball, and a winner-take-all matchup on Monday.
Yeah, so they're playing in their Super Regional right now. Texas Tech won the game on Friday. Oklahoma State won yesterday. So now it's winner go home. So coming up next in Big 2 Sports, highlights from Game 3 of the Lubbock Super Regional. One team is headed to the College World Series, and another was sent home.
Hey folks, Larry Hook at All-American Chevrolet of Odessa. Summertime is here. We have over 1,000 new Chevys to choose from. The deals are hotter than ever. You gotta come see.
Right now, you can drive home in this completely redesigned new 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 Double Cab Texas Edition for only $34,945. That's $9,000 off MSRP, or an unbelievably low payment of only $439 a month.
That's only at All-American Chevrolet of Odessa, the fun place to buy a car.
They were just telling me they've got a smaller bedroom, but they want something to really brighten it up. Here's the 6-piece Avalon Cove bedroom, solid poplar wood, the contrasting tops, even has the USB charging in the bed. This is great. Now, while our inventory lasts, you get all 6 pieces of the Avalon Cove, not $1,500, just $998. Plus, 60 months to pay, and you never have to worry about those shopper stalkers. All in one place, Bob Mills.
This town is on the move, and we're moving forward with you, meeting your ever-growing needs with ever faster internet. Now we're taking our commitment to this town one step further. Cable One is now Sparklight, connecting people to each other, connecting neighborhoods to the world, connecting what's now to what's next. Sparklight. There's nothing this town can't do.
Big 2 Sports.
Texas Tech won Game 1 of its Super Regional on Friday. Then Oklahoma State turned around and won Game 2 yesterday. So that means today we had a winner-take-all matchup with the winner going to the College World Series and the loser going home. So let's check out Game 3, bottom of the third here, tied at 1 and 1 on for Texas Tech. Noisy at the plate, hits this one well out to center. That one goes over the center fielder's head onto the wall, so his teammate is going to score. Noisy trying to get to third there, but he is out still. Run is going to score for Tech. And then an in-game interview here with Coach Holliday, and then Josh Young nails one over the center field wall during that interview, so the Red Raiders go up 3-1 into the fifth now for the Cowboys. Sac fly out to right, so that's going to score 1 run. We are all tied up at 3-3. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Tech down by 1. Kurt Wilson out to center with 2 on, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer for Kurt Wilson, and that is going to do it. The Red Raiders are headed back to Omaha. Texas Tech takes down Oklahoma State 8-6 to advance to the College World Series. It's the 4th time in the last 6 years Texas Tech has advanced. Our own Ben Peck is in Lubbock, and he tells us just how excited that campus is right now.
Hey, Aaron, I don't think the party's going to stop anytime here in Lubbock. Texas Tech going back to Omaha for the 4th time in the last 6 years. A back-and-forth affair once again here in the decisive Game 3. 4 lead changes, but fortunately for Texas Tech, the last one in favor of the Red Raiders. Kurt Wilson delivering the heroics with a 3-run home run in the 8th inning.
Kurt, was this the biggest home run ever in your baseball career?
Yes, sir, no doubt.
He only has like 6 to my knowledge. So.
I was just still trying to get my pitch. Like Alec told me before I came up to bat, see the curveball down and make that fastball elevate, get it up in the zone, and he threw me one right where I wanted it.
Oh, I don't know if I want to think about what I feel. What I do know is June 26th or 7th, I think you can win the whole thing. We're 5 games away from doing that, and that's a long time.
And it was the exact same scenario for Texas Tech last year as well. Winning Game 1 of the Super falling in Game 2, but coming out on top in the decisive Game 3. The next stop, College World Series in, you guessed it, Omaha. Reporting from Dan Law Field in Lubbock, Ben Peck, Big 2 Sports.
All right, thank you, Ben. Sticking to the diamond, Midland Rockhounds going for the sweep today against the Frisco Rough Riders. Hounds with a nice 5-3 lead. Luis Barrera with a shot out to left. That's going to land him on first base. One on for Tyler Ramirez. Hits this one out to the same side into the left field corner. So that's going to put 2 on for Darren Blanco, and he hits this one hard out to right field. Ball's just barely going to clear the fence. That'll put the Hounds up 8-3 in the 4th. They go on to win this one 13-3. That's their 6th straight victory. Former Texas Ranger Adrian Beltre received one final standing ovation yesterday at Globe Life Park. The third baseman retired from professional baseball last season, and yesterday the Rangers retired his jersey. Beltre spent 8 of his last 21 seasons of professional baseball with the Rangers. He was called up at the mere age of 19 and never went back down to the minors. Beltre recorded 3,166 hits over the course of his career, the most ever by a foreign-born player. His number 29 jersey is just the 4th to be retired by the Rangers. So lots of baseball today, a little bit of hockey. But Gianna, I want to take a moment really quick to give a shout out to my dad because it is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Reynolds.
The big 5-2.
Well, thank you, Aaron, for the sports. Coming up on Big 2 News at 10, Are You a Millionaire? We'll tell you where the winning Mega Millions ticket was sold right after the break.
Luke P, super aggressive. The guy's a beast.
I'm worried I misjudged.
You're a psychopath. I'm not threatened by anybody, especially you.
I can't even trust my feelings.
1969, 50 years ago, the year of miniskirts and bell-bottoms, and the year A1 Homes opened. Then, the British invasion and payphones. Today, hip-hop and digital devices. Then, you got a big metal box called a trailer house. Today, a beautiful manufactured home with a composition roof and siding. Then, shag carpet and paneling. Today, fireplaces and kitchen islands. Then was then, but now is the time to buy a new home at an affordable price. A1 Homes. Thanks for trusting us for over 50 years.
With cutting-edge technology at Midland Academy Charter, we lead. Love learning, excel in all we do, achieve goals together, do what is right. Midland Academy Charter, where education is our mission.
Are you craving authentic home-cooked Mexican food? Well, Mama's in the kitchen at the Grande Fundome. Homemade enchiladas, tacos, chili rellenos, asado, and more. Piping hot tortillas with salsa and refried beans. And can't you just smell the fresh-baked sopapillas with honey? Come taste what everyone's talking about. The Fundome's Mexican Food Buffet. All you can eat for one low price. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the MCM Grande Fundome, Odessa.
For 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been cooking home-style favorites to perfection. We thought we'd celebrate by making our golden anniversary extra golden. Introducing new, crispy, juicy Southern Fried Chicken. Now at Cracker Barrel.
Want a relaxing pedicure?
Relaxing pedicure? My feet get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's for healthy feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my feet back.
And here's one last look at your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow's high will be 66 with a 60% chance of rain.
Chilly.
Tuesday, the high is 81 and a 30% chance to see some showers in the morning. A pleasant rest of your work week, though, with Wednesday hitting 87 and Thursday 89. But it will start to warm back up for the weekend. Well, someone in California is about $530 million richer. A single winning ticket sold in the state matched all 6 numbers of the Mega Millions jackpot Friday night. That ticket was sold at the Serrano Deli Mart and Liquor in San Diego. The winner has the option to take a lump sum cash payout of $345.2 million. The store will also get a check from the California Lottery for selling the golden ticket.
Is a lot of money.
I know. Erin, have you ever bought a lottery before? I mean, I missed the boat when all of my friends bought when they turned 18. Did you get to buy one?
I've bought one a couple times and only won like $2.
$2. Hey, I mean, you're $2 richer. Well, that's all the time we have for news. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.